Friends, welcome to my YouTube channel Manoj Networking. So in this video I'll be talking about Cisco IOS mode, and the same is applicable for Cisco switches and routers also. So basically IOS means, like, let's say we have purchased one mobile, so we'll be getting one hardware model and we have software model, right? In the same way Cisco also, when you purchase their devices, they will provide one IOS inbuilt feature. So IOS stands for interconnecting operating system. So OS basically stands for operating system, I stands for interconnected. So interconnected operating system. IOS stands for interconnected operating system, and there are 5 modes basically. So in the IOS modes, so we have setup mode, we have user mode, we have privileged mode, we have global privileged mode, interface mode, and Raman mode. Very important for the interview questions about, please explain the Cisco IOS mode. Okay, so let's see one by one. What is a setup mode? So the setup mode, as the name stands, this is the the basic mode. This is the basic mode, and if the NVRAM is blank, that means NVRAM stands for non-volatile RAM. NVRAM stands for non-volatile RAM. So if you see, if the setup mode, we are learning the setup mode. So if the NVRAM is blank, that means if the NVRAM coming without configurations, like let's say we have deleted the configurations, or we have erased the startup configurations, or if it is a brand new router. So NVRAM stands for non-volatile random access memory. So if there is no inbuilt configurations in the router or switch, then it will come up with this mode, also called as setup mode. So to demonstrate that mode, let me open the Cisco Packet Tracer. If you see, I'm just going to router. So if I just make it big, this router, now if you see, there is no initial configurations on this router because this is a brand new router. So you can skip this mode. With no. So we don't want any default initial configurations from Cisco. So that's why this is a setup mode. We can type no in real time also, so that you can skip this step. So that is the first mode, also called as setup mode. So second mode will be user mode. And if you see, user mode means this one. If you see, now it is changed to this mode, right? It is changed to greater than. So now this is changed to greater than symbol, router, and you are seeing this symbol. So this is a user mode, and this is the default mode. This is a user mode, also called as default mode. So here basic operations we can do. Like let's say if I try to configure any VLAN in the switches, or if I try to configure any routing, it will not accept, because this is a user mode. So user mode will help you just to see some commands. Okay, it will just only accept some commands, like let's say show IP interface brief. Yes, now if you see, only interface related configurations, or only couple of configurations we can see it over here. So this is called as an user mode, and you can see the symbol greater than, So and then the third one is privileged mode. So parallelly you can even observe the theory also. So privileged mode, this mode can be accessed by typing enable command. Very important. So you need to type, so from user mode, from greater than symbol, if you wanted to go to hash mode. So user mode will be greater than symbol, privileged execution mode will be in hash mode. So if you want to convert from greater than to hash, you need to type a word called enable. So let me type that. So here I am in the router, and if you see, enable. Now if you carefully see, that greater than symbol earlier is being changed to hash symbol. The greater than is being transitioned to hash symbol. Okay, so this is called as an privileged mode. So in the privileged mode we can configure something in the router, or we can configure something on the switches as well. Okay, and the same steps will be applicable for switches also on the same states. Then moving further, we have next state is called as a config mode. Config mode, and I hope many of you know about this command, configure terminal. Configure terminal, also called as config T. So if you write config T, the router or switch will accept, or the complete command is configure terminal. And yeah, if you wanted to come out, now if you see I am in global configuration mode and I wanted to come back, so simply if you type exit, you can come back. So from here, as I said, you can type configure T. So our complete command is configure terminal. So if you configure if you type configure terminal, now it will change to router in global configuration mode. So next one in the series is a global configuration mode. So we are learning this one, global configuration mode. So this mode can be accessed by typing the configure terminal. Okay, so this mode can be accessed by typing configure terminal. So this is the command and we need to type it. Okay, let's see. I'll in the global configuration mode, whatever the configurations we do, that will affect the router or switch globally. So let me show you this mode. So let me open the switch. So enable, we are in enable config T. So this is what we are talking. So now if you see, I have typed configure terminal or config T, anything is fine. So here whatever you do, it will impact globally. Like let's say, as I said, the name is HR. Okay, or you can create VLAN 20 or anything, basically ABCD. So whatever you will create here, that will affect complete switch or complete router. So that's why this is called as an global configuration mode. And the next one is interface mode. So configurations done on the specific interface. Like let's say I want to shut down fast Ethernet 0/1. Now shut down, as simple as it is. Now if you see, the moment I have typed switch in global configuration mode and I have issued interface FA0/1. Now if you see, switch is being changed to config-if. That means this shutdown command will only applicable to fast Ethernet 0/1, and you can see fast Ethernet 0/1 changed to administratively down. So this is called as an interface mode. Very important. So that is called as an interface mode. So what we have done, so here from the global configuration I have typed config T, and then I have entered to global configuration mode, and then I have typed interface FA0/1 or any port. You can type 3, 4, 5, 6, anything. So whatever, now I have written shutdown, that's why the port is shut down. Like let's say if I configure anything related to VLAN configuration, any STP configuration, so that will impact to that particular port, and you can see the results here. It is being changed to administratively down. Okay, and we have one more mode, that is called as Raman mode. This is also very critical, and this is needed in helping of reverting the passwords. Like let's say I am the network admin for one of the particular organization ABC, and I have configured enable password on the router or switch. For example, if I go to switch, so we can configure the enable passwords, or we can even configure the username and password. So username, if you see Cisco, and the password, I'm just typing the unencrypted password. So again say Cisco, and now enable password. Again we can just type any name. So here I am just using Cisco. Okay, so now If you see, if I type enable, it is asking for password. Earlier it's not asking for password. So this is how we can configure the passwords to switch or router for the enable password, and it's recommended to configure, in the real time, so that you need to type the correct password. So that now if you see, from greater than mode, if you are converting into hash mode, you need to enter the password. Like let's say all these kinds of password, if I as I said, so I am working for ABC company and I am managing one router or one router or one switch. So I have configured the passwords here, and I have left the organization without informing to everyone. Then nobody knows the password of this switch or this particular router, and nobody will be able to do any changes on this particular switch or this particular router. Then what we can do, we can go for Raman mode. That means someone can go and visit that particular switch or router to their computer. They can connect the console, and now they have the power buttons here. Physically they have the power buttons, and they can click on that button for almost 30 seconds or 60 seconds, so that the prompt will automatically change to Raman mode, where it will remove all the passwords, all the related passwords, and again it will ask you to re-enter the new password. So again I can add new password as a admin or whatever it is, Cisco or anything. Then again it will come up and it will start working. So the use case of Raman mode is, it will help you in preventing the password lockage, okay, or kind of we can revert the passwords in this mode. So that is all for this video. I hope this is informative. Thank you.